Thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoy it, if you feel it was useful. Now let's get into this. So, Joseph Parker. Okay, this is a guy I've talked about, quite a bit on this channel. Just because I'm curious about him. I'm just curious to see kind of what the plan is for him, because we see heavyweights in the heavyweight division and we see top 10 heavyweights, because I like to focus on kind of some of the top 10. And we see them kind of, well, this guy's going in this direction, this guy's going in this direction. There's talk of Dylan White facing Povetkin, Andy Ruiz, and stuff like that. With Joseph Parker, it just seems like, or he's going Chisora route, then he's going a Usyk route, then he could be going a different route, and it's just seemingly like all over the shop. There's even been talk of Daniel Dubois, of all people. So he's one of those fighters where we just don't really know kind of whether he's coming or going. And we know he is going to be on the bill at the end of the month in Texas, I believe. There's going to be on the undercard of Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas. That's a welterweight. And they've announced his opponent. His opponent, whose name is Shawndell Winters. Okay. BoxRec have actually announced, so it's on BoxRec, as I'm sure you'll see now in a sec. It's on BoxRec. So they've announced this is the guy Parker's fighting. I don't know if any official announcement's been done. I haven't seen Parker refer to it in BoxRec. They announce fights all the time, and 95% of the time they're right, but sometimes the odd one gets in there that shouldn't be. So, who is this guy? Who is this Shawndell Winters? Well, he is 39 years old, made his pro debut 4.5 years ago. So he was very old turning pro. He's a 6'2" heavyweight. Looking at his box rec, I mean, the thing that jumps out at me straight away is the weight. Okay, even though he's listed as being a heavyweight, he's listed as being the 12th heavyweight in the United States. Well, that's not good going there, people. He's being 12th heavyweight in the United States. Started his career at cruiserweight. He's campaigned at cruiserweight. Actually campaigned as low as 179 pounds. That was in 2016. So we're talking about a guy who was in around light heavyweight. Lost to a guy called Brian Howard. Stopped in 2 rounds. That was a cruiserweight. And these cruiserweight weights he's weighing in at, they're low 190s. So it's not like we're talking about someone who's making the 200 pound limit. This guy is well in the 200 pound limit. Lost again last year. Lost last April to, I'm not going to pronounce this guy's name. He lost on a majority decision to a guy who was 16-0-1, a Polish fighter. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. That was at cruiserweight. And that guy doesn't look like anything the right home, judging by his box rec. And his last 2 fights have been over 200 pounds, but they've only been 203 and 200 and 204 pounds. One guy was 16-0 called Alexander Teslenko. That name rings a bell. I don't know why, but that name rings a bell. Teslenko. He was undefeated at the time, and then he fought another guy again. I'm not going to try and pronounce this guy's name. It's Sergey. I can tell that's the first name, but the last name is all over the place. So this is who Joseph Parker is fighting. I'm going to show you on screen a video I done about 2 months ago. You'll see it probably just there. It's called Joseph Parker Has a Big Problem. And he does. And in that video I said, what is this 3-fight deal with Matchroom going to do? Because he was originally meant to fight Eric Molina. Eric Molina did not want to see that fight. That was a blowout for Parker. If it had happened, it didn't happen. We saw Leopold. Leopold gave a bit of resistance, to be fair, but still way below the level of Joseph Parker. Then we hear talking Marius Vac. At least with Marius Vac, he's durable. Okay, he's a big, strong. He's like a Viking, as me and Ade said, in our interview. That like he's big, he's durable. He's just, every part of him is just big. It's like he's got a football helmet on his own head. That's Marius Vac. Gave a good account of himself against Dylan White. Came to fight in that fight. Would have been a decent opponent for Joseph Parker. Instead, we get this guy, Shawndell Winters, a cruiserweight, a career cruiserweight, because you're weighing in at 203, 204. You're a cruiserweight, essentially. You're 3 pounds off making the cruiserweight limit, and you've been weighing in the low 190s. You're a cruiserweight. So they've gone from getting Joseph Parker, when he signed this 3-fight deal at Matchroom, it went from being, Leopold to Chisora, to now being Leopold, Winters, and God knows who he's going to fight in his 3rd fight. Sad stuff, because I like watching Joseph Parker, and I would have loved to have seen that Chisora fight. I hope he's getting well paid. But what does he gain by fighting these guys? You know, this is a man who's, you know, gone the distance with Anthony Joshua with a very good account of himself. Lost Dylan White, but very good fight. Had Dylan White down. And now he's fighting guys like this. I mean, not so long ago, we had Joseph Parker before AJ fought Klitschko. You could have argued that Parker had the strongest resume of any heavyweight champion at the time before AJ fought Klitschko. You know, he's beaten guys like Huey Fury. Okay, Huey Fury's not the greatest, but he's beat Takam, Fury. You know, he beat Andy Ruiz. Good resume. And now he's fighting guys like this. I mean, fuck. It just... What's the plan? You know, is it a case of they're just hoping that the winner of Chisora Usyk, if that happens, fight Joseph Parker for maybe a vacant title if AJ vacates, or what? Because there's talk now that Anthony Joshua might not vacate, that he might actually end up facing the winner of Usyk Chisora. That might be a final eliminator. So then what does Parker have to do? You know, I mean, real strange stuff. So unless he signs an extension or something like that, I really don't know what the long-term plan is for Joseph Parker, seriously, because if you think about it like this, like, he might not get that Usyk fight if Usyk comes through Chisora for, you know, a vacant title. You know, Usyk might, you know, get a mandatory shot against Anthony Joshua, and then what happens? You know, they're not just going to give Parker a mandatory shot against Anthony Joshua, and he's not going to get a voluntary either, more than likely anyway. Strange stuff. And this opponent here, this is not the opponent you want to see Joseph Parker in there with. You know, I mean, we knew he wasn't going to be fighting anybody great, but getting someone durable, a real heavyweight, you know, like a Mariusz Vac, at least Mariusz Vac, you know, he's going to go rounds. You know, he's a big 6'7" Polish heavyweight, you know, big 250, I think, pound guy, career cruiserweight, 6'2" cruiserweight. So, sad stuff, you know, has to be said, but it is what it is. Let me know what you think down below. Very poor opponent, as I said. Let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, of course, if you are new. And as always, I will talk to you after.